1. Skin to die for. I'm Lex and right now I'm stuck in a grinding machine of insanity powered by a yellow magic liquid that turns everyone stuck in the machine's gears into a mad slime god. My flesh is not melting. Not quite. It's gooifying. The taste of my own blood, pushed up like paste from a tube, is quickly replaced by a full-body taste of petrol. Sugar. Both. I think it's both. It hasn't hurt since the gas started flowing in. If I had been careful in my journalistic investigation into the hot new skincare product, good girl goo, I wouldn't have been caught and fed into the machine. But as my flesh is ground and transformed, I want most to reveal this conspiracy and bust this story wide open. For that, I need to get out of here without being sucked into the tube on the other side of the gear grinder, now that I'm properly goo-ed. I look up as the vacuum sound starts and then I look around my environment. My whole body is like an eye, an ear, and a tongue all at once. I pull my yellow slime body together by force of will and start sliding my way up the wall, and over the ceiling to grab hold of the giant clear plastic funnel as the sucking begins. Here, some of the pressure reaches me, but I'm able to find my center and hold on for the most part, though some part is sucked in and I see the inside of a jar far from me. Then a pink liquid is squirted into the jar and I see no more. Nope. Ain't gonna be me. I try to find a crack, however small, that I can seep through. Feel around the place where the tube juts out from the ceiling and I find nothing. The vacuum stops and I hear screaming on the other side of the gears as the next victim is dragged in. Then I hear a walkie-talkie. Wait. There seems to be a blockage or something. The wall on the right side of this area is phased through by a green-skinned troll the size of 2 men and the width of 3. He wears a rebreather and an oxygen tank because the room is airtight and he may get stuck inside. The phasing works both ways for them, but for the human victims it's a one-way trip. The troll looks up and sees me, points a freezing gun at me, and fires once, twice, thrice. I pull myself to the other side of the tube. Slimes are slow. I need an angle if I'm going to win. The troll runs under the tube to reach the other side and shoot. Rookie. I drop down onto his head. He flails wildly, throws his freeze gun. It explodes and freezes the eastern wall. The radio goes wild. I start forcing my way into every orifice on his head as he tries to rip me off. His hands grasp, but can't hold me. I fully invade the troll's body as 2 more come in, phasing through the walls. I order him through my skin, on the part of me parked around his brain, to run towards the wall of ice as hard as he can. He does, and the brittle ice and the wall it froze through shattered into shards that stab holes all over my host's body. I pilot his fresh corpse, keeping it running on momentum, barreling through the factory halls with their giant brass slime creation and funneling machines, guards chasing and shooting all the way. The glowing glass chemical tanks that are the only things capable of holding the caustic material are reinforced with runes that make them 10 times stronger than other kinds of glass. As I run I force the body to smash them with its arms as we pass until the liquid eats through the bones. We run through the break room. I'm getting the hang of this being a slime thing. I pilot him into a female troll, bite her jaw off with his massive canines, and funnel myself into her head as the others run away. The body I was in gets shot and frozen solid as I start running again in the new one. I run her through a dry wall and into a bathroom with stalls too large for any human and too stinky for any pig. Running in zigzags to avoid the shots from behind, I rip up one of the giant toilets and toss it at the mass of 22 guards attacking me, killing one instantly. I rip up a door from a stall and hold it by its handle as a shield. Ice accumulates but I charge forward to meet the guard's head on and shield bash 6 feet. Removing the limiters on this body's strength, I turn the door into a weapon. I swing it around low and break 5 guards' knees in one go. Cries of pain rising up from them in waves. I bash one head in so thoroughly that it splatters into blood mist. The remaining 15 shoot their ice guns at me and I roll aside, swipe the door at them, and run backwards with it raised as a shield again. If I remember the maps right, the elevator is 30 feet from where I am now. I take a sharp turn and head towards the elevator as it opens with a crowd of guards inside. I barrel in before they can react, press the up button and claw off the nearest one's face. The 20 remaining guards pull out their thick black stun clubs and I press 6 against the wall with the ice-covered door as I pick up one of the guns that dropped. The electric shocks from the clubs hurt, but I force the body to keep moving. Fire the gun at whoever I can hit. In these close quarters it's like shooting fish in a barrel. They shout about how I can't use this in here, but I ignore them and freeze half of them into blocks of ice along with this body's right leg. The other half, I kill with a mix of shooting and pummeling with stolen shock batons. Then the door dings and opens in a showroom room full of sunlight. It's the corporate headquarters front-facing area, and the people who see the body I'm in shout and run. I force my way out of the body as a slime and leave it to fall with its encased leg. The human police are funneling in. No doubt to arrest the trolls. I stand up, in as far as a slime can, to direct them, but they shoot stun nets at me and capture me. I can't crawl out through the holes because every attempt shocks me. An officer looks down with a rifle, in full riot gear. We got a slime loose in the 3G building. We'll bag it up and get it back to the wild. I try to argue, to shout that I'm not a slime. But slimes don't have mouths. Instead I force part of myself through the net despite the electric shocks. I write the word, help, in my own goop on the floor. Then pull my body back in. The officer looks at it. Then looks at the dead trolls. I'll help, all right. Help you into prison. Sentient slimes are a whole other issue. The officers drag the net up and bring me out to a cruiser. Throw me in the back of the car. Reading me my rights. I can't argue. I can't fight. What I can do is escape. I find a gap in the car's seat immediately under my net and start exploring it. The officers don't realize that this slime is about to do what slimes do best and slip their grasp. As they drive away, I ignore the pain and worm my way out of the net and into the cushions of the car. Into the space that will be most likely to lead me to freedom. While I wait for an opening to escape, I hear a conversation on the radio between the officer and an inhuman intelligence judge. It's mostly procedural speak, but one thing sticks with me. The judge says that the sentence for murder for a god slime is to be transported to another plane of existence. The judge tells the officer to transport me to the portal facility at the edge of town and carry out the sentence immediately. I try to protest that I have a right to a trial, but no one can hear me protest. The portal is cold. It smells of batteries and oil and decaying ghosts. Through it I find myself in a world of golden slimes, rare slime gods of kinds few ever see, even in monster manuals. Is this where slimes come from? Is my only thought. 2. This slime can brawl. The slime gods were the golden slime equivalent of evolved monsters turning into mythical beasts in my world, but here they were so abundant as to be the rule. We could communicate by blending into each other, and the Valley of the Slime Gods was a beautiful vale to spend time in. But all good things must find, and after learning of the location of a witch who could change me back and a portal to return home, I decided it was time to leave. But the good slime gods have given me some new knowledge to help me, and the most important piece of know-how is about motion. They trained me to slither and roll instead of trying to walk. My speed grew to that of a human jogger when rolling. I signal my passing sadly, but I still have a story to break, and come hell or high water I'll break it. When I reach the hill the witch lives on, in the windswept dunes of the grassland to the west, I suddenly feel the enormity of my task. Getting up this hill alone, with its steep grassy sides, may yet be too much for me. The grass makes adhesion harder. I gird whatever counts as loins for a slime and start climbing. The first 3 feet off the ground, I mostly lose adhesion and I find myself covered in grass. I fall back down. I look around for some advantage and find a group of grasshoppers springing up to 10 times their height. Could I grow out leg-like appendages and try it? I barely get a foot off the ground. The jump is pathetic. I decided to thicken the slime in the appendages and organize them in a taut, difficult to close manner. I pull at the ground to bring the 2 parts of my legs together and let go. The spring effect is strong enough to get me 4 feet into the air before I hit the hill, splatter, and reform at the bottom. What I need is a more aerodynamic shape and some momentum. I decide to recreate the taut, rubbery legs, but also to twist them into springs that threaten to unwind in an instant. I pull myself down, then let go. Once airborne I change shape into a thin cone. The jump flings me spinning into the side of the witch's house with a splat. The big wooden house opened up its mouth and a slimy blue tongue reaches up to wrap around me and pull me in. Once inside, a voice booms from a magical blue speaker crystal. Go. You who attack the great witch's lair will be dispatched by my army of monstrous monsters. Ha 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 ha. 2 wolves with green slime fur appear across from me and charge. I roll aside and smack one with semi-hardened slime arms. The second one rushes in, grabs the arm, and rips it off. I use it to invade that wolf's throat. Its green slime intercepts my gold slime and nullifies it. I flank it on the side and envelope it while the other rushes to bite into me with green slime-infused teeth. The pain is the first I felt in a while. I crunch in on the first wolf and overcome his green slime, taking control of its body and scrapping fang to fang with the remaining wolf. As I go for the throat, the house's tongue rises and lashes at me from the left. I dodge right, riposte, and snap at it. The remaining wolf flanks me as the tongue recedes into the floorboards. I love away only to be attacked by the blue tongue from behind. It grabs at my leg. I leap forward. The other wolf bowls me over and bites my new body's neck. Big mistake. I run up his teeth into his mouth, ignoring the pain from the green slime secretions by sacrificing a portion of my mass to cover it while I seize the new body. At that moment the ground beneath me shifts. The floorboards rearrange. The ceiling distorts. The house's tongue raises and splits into a hydra-like lizard with 7 heads. Shit. The first and second heads of the tongue hydra rush for me. My dodge takes me into the third and fifth heads, who bite into my body's side and bite off its head respectively. I rush from the body and split myself into 7 slime clones of myself. It's disorienting but increases the speed at which I can evade. Smaller slime means faster rolling and slithering. The different parts of me dodge as the tongue's attack. I decide to take the fight to the tongue and use one of my bodies to crawl up the stem that connects the necks of the heads. I layer myself thinly onto the spaces between them and start vibrating, shaking as hard as I can. The heads get confused. They flail and bite and lash out at nothing and nothing until it seems nothing is the only thing they can hit. My other bodies use the opportunity to swarm them and join me in layering over them in separated segments, and we vibrate as one until the heads shake apart from the fangs to the root, like a crumbling sand sculpture. I recalled that vibrations could break things up from a story I covered about an earthquake a year ago. I'm glad the same logic applies here. The tongue dead, my body comes back together into a golden gelatinous mass. Clap, clap, clap. The sound comes from a stairwell that didn't exist before and gets louder as the house rearranges itself from a dungeon to a living space. The woman who descends the steps wears a long purple robe that shows way more cleavage than she actually has on her small chest. Her hat is midnight black and sings a dirge in the language of Black Death slimes. A pheromone song that only a slime can hear. Her long bony hands rise up to supple soft arms. Her voice is a bell rung to signal the shame stride of the troll fathers of Kuthulk. So, you killed my pets. Such an interesting slime god. What do you want? I look at the beautiful and terrible creature and release a pheromone signal to begin conversing with her through her hat. I am a human and I need to be turned back. Another abuse of my work. My apprentice has sure been busy. Apprentice. The witch presents a picture of a lady troll with one eye and a black hat. The CEO of 3G. The company that did this to me. Della stole my manual of slime apotheosis and decided to turn humans into slime gods in some distant world that keeps dumping trash in my realm. Says they're good for human skin and sell for billions of doll hairs. I have no idea why she wants those, but it's apparently important to her. She must be stopped. Help me get back to normal and get home. I'd need my manual for the first part and I'd need interest for the second. You Outworlders use my pocket dimension as a waste dump for your unwanted creatures. Why would I care if she kills you and uses you as skin cream? It isn't right. But it isn't wrong either. It just is. I want my body back and you want your manual. We could both benefit here. True. But it's easier just to keep rewriting it. I think. What kind of message does it send if you let your apprentice steal from you? You need to remind her of her place and I need to break this story to the world as a journalist. The witch presses a finger to her lips. Contemplating. Yes. I think you may be right. We must go to the eastern portal then. She pulls out a vial of black liquid from her hat and opens it. The smell is death itself. She pours the contents into me and everything grows cold as winter ice. What is that? Deathblight essence. Try to change to a human form. I do and my body grows rigid yet yielding. Bones form within as my shape changes. My body remains golden and slimy, but is humanoid and stable enough to stand in. Then I collapse back. The bone returns to gelatin. It broke. You'll need practice. Luckily, you'll get plenty of time to practice on the way. The witch picks me up and carries me up the stairs. She reaches a chrome control board in front of 2 windows and presses a big green button. The house lurches and moves and shakes. Our position remains stable. Out the window it seems the world begins to move. The house has grown great chicken legs and is striding towards the eastern mountain range where the portals are known to be. The witch tells me to practice humanoid form now. I'll need it. 3. What gears may come. The mountains would be beautiful if it weren't for all the trolls with frost rifles freezing and then shattering the house's chicken legs, sending us spiraling down into a chasm of death. The witch grabs me as the house falls and jumps from a window now pointed at the gray rocks below. As the frost shots pass overhead, she tells me to assume the shape of a parachute with thin bones at the edges to create resistance to the wind that will let us float. The witch summons a flying blue slime blob and spreads it out to form a shield that follows us as we fall. Below us, a swirling green portal sits facing upwards and we float down into it. Did we do it? Is this our lucky break? Nope. This portal leads to a pocket dimension owned by the heavenly slime monarch. The what now? We land and fall forward through a vertical portal into a world that seems made of gelatin and magic. Every color of slime rolls and slithers through slimy rainbow-colored facsimiles of an earthly mountain canyon. The sky above is equally gay in color and light and has two black suns that let forth primary colored sunlight. Where is this slime monarch? Everywhere. Everything here is him, including you. All slime is his domain and being. My path to apotheosis was about trying to steal a little more of his power than a normal slime god has. What power do I have? I'm almost useless. You have plenty of power. You just don't have the centuries necessary to know how to use it. Other slime gods evolved into their powers and so intuitively know how to create life, summon light, heal mortal wounds, and cast divine-level spells. You are too young and unstudied. Gee, thanks. You asked. Let's go to a slime temple and ask for a portal out. Okay. Where to? She points up at the mountain top. Fuck. Yeah, but gods like mountain tops. Even here. She pulls a bottle from her hat that has green slime inside. Rubs it on her hands and starts climbing the rainbow-colored mountain. I test my adhesion. It feels like I was made to climb this mountain. We rise and make good time. But when we reach the top where the slime marble pillars of the slime temple rise from the stone dais on which the central altar sits, a mass of 100 troll soldiers fall from the sky. They fired their ice guns at us, the witch summons 6 blue slime shields and I split myself 7 ways. The witch casts a blinding light spell. I move fast and invade the bodies of 7 soldiers, using the distraction. I have them shoot blindly in the general direction of other trolls who then shoot back. We kill 21 before my hosts get iced and I escape them. The witch pulls off her hat as blue slime crack and shatter. Tosses it into the air. It expands and swallows 30 more. The 49 remaining charge us with their clubs. They probably assumed we can't kill them all. I jump onto new hosts as lightning yellow slime cover and electrocute 10 more trolls. My new hosts get clubbed to death immediately. They're wise to my game. I retreat to the shrine and am pursued. But the trolls are stopped at the threshold by large blue slimes that rise from the mountain. They are devoured. The witch casts a spell of mass death that ends the remaining 28. I go out to meet her but the troll's blood pours out and pools and grows. It grows into a creature of viscous red that wraps around us and drags us into itself. I struggle and the sitch struggles, but we are consumed. The blood creature drags us far. The ride is disorienting and bumpy, but when it dumps us out we're in a cell at the bottom of the 3G building with a wall of gears on one side, a wall of oxygen-masked trolls on the other, and a single female troll with one eye and a black hat. Teacher. I see you are in bad company, as usual. Della. Nice to see you. We came for my manual. The trolls grab the witch. The blood slime holds me together so I can't split while trolls grab me. Afraid not, old lady. You're about to achieve your greatest hope and lose it also. She gestures for the witch and I to be pushed into the turning gears. The yellow gas gets released on the other side as well. Good luck reporting on this from a dozen jars, little Snoop. 4. The stickiest byline. I get thrown into the gears first and this time the vacuum is on to start with. I feel the pull through. Is this it? How can I break the story from a jar? I must escape. I remember, as the gears grind at me, what I learned from the slime gods in the other world. As they toss the witch into the gears I thicken myself and gum up the works. The gears stop grinding as if a coating of rubber has hardened over them. Now, witch. The witch wastes no time drawing a rune to expand her slime hat out into the whole size of the room. A giant death slime eroding the lives of everyone inside except me, her, and Della. The trolls decay in real time and become dust. Della casts a rune to expand her own hat. The push and pull between the two death slimes as one tries to expand and the other to suppress it creates a weight on all of us. Remove myself from the gears and release a clear pheromone signal. The witch's death slime pushes Della into the grinding gears and releasing gas. Blood splashes and meat grinds and on the other side a slime god is born and sucked up to be jarred. We make good our escape. Breaking the wall open with an acid slime summoned by the witch. The trolls gather around us. 100 of them. How do we fight them? We don't. The trolls rush up and shake our hands and kneel and praise our strength. We learn, through interviews that I'll soon be publishing, that Della had fed them all death slime so that if they disobeyed her, they would die. When we get to the surface I assume humanoid form, complete with vocal cords, so I can call in the story to my editor before giving the cops the rundown. Later the witch will turn me back using her manual, but till then, I've got the stickiest byline in journalism history.